What is up, world? You are in tune to the KnoItAll podcast. Usual suspects. What's up, Tate? How you doing, man?
Ma, what's up, homie? Not too much, man. Ready to get on here and talk about what we're gonna talk about today, man. We had a great show yesterday with Sports Fluent. That was real fun. We talked about a lot of old school NBA, Magic Johnson basketball stuff. I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit of everything today and the upcoming NFL draft. So I'm ready, bro.
Man, I'm excited. Hey, and B Dirt is already excited because he's asking, is this thing on? Yeah, man, we here and I'm definitely about to get to it. Man, listen, if you like the content that you're getting, make sure you like and subscribe. Like it on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and you can also see us on Twitch. Here in a minute, you're gonna see us on Twitter. And I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited to where we're going to start going live on Twitter so that you and yours can catch up with us. But, man, before we get into that, man, let's get into this. And of course, you are in tune to the KnoItAll podcast. We are the champion know-it-alls. And listen, man, I just want to say today is a special episode for us. We have been here a whole year. We have been here 52 episodes, 52 episodes of the KnoItAll podcast, man. How does it feel, Tate, man? How does it feel that, we done been here 52 episodes, one whole full year of doing the podcast? How do you feel about it?
Hey, man, it feels good, man. I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes work and commitment that go into it, schedule, coordinating between me, you, and Big G. And like Big G ain't even here now. So, we gotta keep it moving. The only weeks we were off was the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. So kind of took time to observe those holidays with family and friends and stuff like that. But outside of that, man, 52 straight weeks, man.
52 episodes, and we made it, man. I'm excited about it. I think being able to share what we would talk about on a normal basis anyway. we would definitely talk about this, to ourselves and call each other on the phone and talk about it. So, being able to talk about it live and to have interaction with other people, I think is really great. It's really great. We had a great show. You mentioned it earlier with Sports Fluent. Definitely kudos and shout out to him from taking time from his family on their holiday. They observe Easter after a weekend after we do. And definitely
Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, he definitely came and spent some time with us, and I appreciated that, man. But we're gonna jump right into this, man. This episode we have devoted to the NFL draft, and we've done our due diligence and we've kind of looked into everything. And I think we were talking earlier. One of the things to me that was different from the way that I picked and you picked is that you kind of went away from team needs and you kind of went with, hey, this is what I could see them doing. And I kind of stayed along the path of team needs. And I really like it. Some of our picks were exactly the same. And I loved it, that it came out that way. But we're going to jump right into it. Definitely, we're going to jump into the picks that we have here for each team or for each person. So I'll jump into your list first. We'll go your list and my list. How's that?
Okay.
So we'll go back and forth. So for the first pick of the draft, you picked Aiden Hutchinson. This is your pick for Jacksonville. And tell me about why you picked. Well, let's reveal each other's picks first, and then we'll talk about why we picked him. Want to do it like that?
However you want to do it, man.
All right, bet. So I picked Aiden Hutchinson as well at the number one spot. Why did you pick Aiden Hutchinson for Jacksonville?
I just think Jacksonville needs a face of the defense for that franchise. And Aiden Hutchinson is the best, well, projected to be the best edge rusher in the draft. He doesn't have the most talent compared to maybe Thibodeau, but he's that lunch pail hard hat guy. You know what I mean? Blue collar. He doesn't have the, not saying he's gonna be TJ Watt, but he has a TJ Watt mentality. Hard worker, come to work, just fight. His dad played professionally a little bit. He's from Michigan, a big school. He was he second or third in the Heisman? I think he was second in the Heisman voting last year. So that's, you gotta be really good defensive player, defensive lineman, defensive edge to get second place in the Heisman. So I just feel like he's a heck of a football player and he fits what they need.
Oh, and B Dirt says, "What's up, guys? Hey man, what's up with it? What's up with it? I saw some of your picks. They were questionable today on BTS, man. You kind of questionable picks there, B Dirt. I like Thibodeau. I mean, excuse me, I like Thibodeau as the most athletic person. But when we talk about Aiden, I think Aiden was the most pro-ready. You know what I mean? I think I think he's the one that I think will see him have the most. You'll see him have a smoother transition. Thibodeau, I think he's Clowney to me all over again. He's Clowney all over. Was Clowney good? He was good in spots, right? The thing that held over for me with Thibodeau, and I'm going to get into it because he's my second pick, but the thing that held over to me when I started looking at him, I saw Jadeveon Clowney all over again. And so moving to the second pick, I had Kayvon Thibodeau going to Detroit. And you had, for your second pick, you had Malik Willis going to Detroit. Wow, that's interesting. So let's talk about why you said Detroit went with Willis early.
I feel like Detroit, man, been stuck in a rut, man, the NFL rut for a lot of years now, man. And they got to take a big swing. It's a big swing. But with what this guy brings, and Detroit has another first round pick at the end of the draft. I mean, so they're not gonna get Willis then. You know what I mean? Jared Goff is not the answer. And I think with what Detroit wants to do, I think Malik Willis, you draft him. You probably sitting this year behind Goff. He will. But you have that guy in the room. Like I said on the BTSC, we run the North podcast last hour. Me and B Dirt did that together. That's what Ma was talking about, B Dirt's pick. I said, I think Detroit has to take that swing, man. Has to take that swing.
Yeah, I could see them taking the eight.
It's a bit early, but but they won't get him anywhere else.
I was going to say that's a big swing to take, man. It's a huge swing to take. Miss Pitch said, "Congratulations, KnoItAll podcast on reaching this milestone. 1 year anniversary. The show and content variety gets better every week. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Anne Lorraine.
we appreciate that. We appreciate that. From the support is felt, and we love y'all and continue to comment. So like I said, when we look at my second pick, I went for Kayvon Thibodeau because I think you got to build a defense, man. And that was one of their needs, was the edge rusher. And to me, offensively, Jared Goff is enough for right now. You know what I'm saying? He may not be the answer long term,
now, but that ain't winning. That ain't taking you nowhere. Let me ask you this, Mod. About Detroit. Could Detroit come back at the same pick, 32 we talking about, and get David Ojabo and let him and Willis both wait a year? Then they probably gonna be sorry. You have a high pick next year. Then they just integrate all that fresh influx of talent in next year. That's what I like.
I can't argue that. That's logic, right? That's good logic. But to me, if I'm the GM and I'm sitting in that seat, best available is Kayvon Thibodeau, man. I mean, I like your pick and I like where your mind's at, but Kayvon Thibodeau.
Best available. I agree. I agree with you. But we know quarterbacks get elevated in the draft.
They do.
And Malik Willis is the best available quarterback.
I think so too. But I had some people drafting needs to where he slid down a little bit, but we'll look at it. So, you had Malik Willis going second. You had Evan Neal of Alabama, offensive tackle, going to Houston. I had Houston getting Kyle Hamilton, which is one of their big needs. Now, I can see them going either or right here, Tate. This is a split pick, right? I can see they do need offensive tackle help. I mean, listen, they need prayer at this point. You know what I'm saying? They need everything. You know what I'm saying? So being that they need,
it ain't no surprise the team is picking 1, 2, and 3 is picking 1, 2, and 3. They all need help.
Yeah, absolutely. B Dirt said that's fire. That's a great take.
I think he might mean it's a hot take. Put the fire up on me, man.
No, it wasn't a hot take. It was a good take. It was a hot take. Means like, ooh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Think that's what he's saying because he said it on the BTSC.
Wait a minute. Oh, he said I meant take hot flames.
I knew what he meant.
Oh, that's a hot take. But so here we go. Like when I was talking about Houston, I think the safety help was better for them. And why did you go with Neal?
I feel like Neal's the best tackle in the draft. They have Laramie Tunsil. I mean, they gonna roll with Davis Mills at quarterback. They're gonna give him a chance, a year or two audition. You solidify the offensive line. I think Kyle Hamilton is falling down draft board. Your pick. I like him. But he ran a 4.75 at his at the combine in his pro day, so he kind of fell down boards. He still is a legit football player, still top 10. I just had Houston taking the best offensive tackle, 6'7", 310, I think, and carries it well. Don't look like he weighed no 310.
No, not at all.
Athletic, best pass protector in the draft. So you put him on the other side of Laramie Tunsil, and we see what we doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so let me say this, Tate, about the young man, Kyle Hamilton. I saw him play a game against Florida State where this man came all the way across the field and got an interception and tiptoed out the hit the sideline. Yo, first of all, football speed is way different than testing speed. Some people I've seen run horrible 40s. I mean, honestly, I've seen them run garbage 40s. But on the field, they were just fast, bro. It was no explanation for it. I've seen people not test well on 225. They could get up 225 10 times. But on the field, they were manhandling people. It was no explanation for it. So I think, he's a football player. And I see him doing football stuff. And that's why I could see Houston taking him, because when it comes down to it, Houston has a need for just all-out football players. They got a need for them. They got a need for football players. So either one of these, that's why I said it's a split pick. No, none of them are wrong. You know what I'm saying? You could give them, they could take the whole draft and still be and still be a need. You know what I mean? They need, definitely. So you went with, at number 4, you went Trayvon Walker, edge rusher from Georgia. And I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a good pick. He's probably the second best edge rusher wise in this draft. I mean, he's really that good. But me, I went with Evan Neal. So this is where I went with Evan Neal, because of the simple fact that I think the Jets feel like that they found their quarterback. They've also picked up some offensive linemen in the draft, in free agency, but to solidify their line, that was one of their needs, was another tackle, right? And I just see them going there. That was the reason why I went with the tackle. Explain why did you pick the person that you picked right here, which happened to be Travon Walker. Talk to us about that.
Well, the Jets coach, man, Robert Saleh, you remember before getting the Jets job last year, he was defensive coordinator for San Francisco 49ers. And the one thing San Francisco always had was an incredible defensive line. With Bosa when they had DeForest Buckner, and they drafted the kid, I believe, last year from South Carolina. I forgot his name. It misses me. But so they got Quentin Williams there in New York, and you put Trayvon Walker beside him. Arguably, some mock drafts have Trayvon Walker going number one to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So we talking about the overall number one talent you put on that line with Quentin Williams, who was like the fourth or fifth pick a year or two ago, and the Jets actually have a defensive coach. I mean, they took the kid from BYU, the quarterback last year. What's his name? Help me.
Zach
Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, took him last year.
He's not a bad quarterback right now, and you gotta protect your investment.
He still got some growth to do, and I could argue that them taking Zach Wilson at 2 last year is no different than the Lions taking Willis at 2 this year. I mean, the Jets had to take a swing. I mean, Sam Darnold wasn't getting it done. They had to take a swing.
Yeah, Tate, man, listen. I'm just gonna be real with you, man. It's a different world to me, man. It's a different world. That's Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert. That's a different world because when it comes down to it, they have a quarterback. Sam Darnold was different in the sense that they knew they were going to get off Sam Darnold. I don't think that Detroit is trying to move off of Jared Goff. I think because they
can't. He making $30 million. Nobody wants Jared Goff for $30 million. And I'm saying right here that I guess in the spirit of Big G, in 4 years, Malik Willis going to be a better quarterback than Zach Wilson.
Wow. So that's what we're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
There it is. I got to throw the flames up for you. That's a hot take. That's a real hot take, man. So what we got here at number 5, I picked Charles Cross going to the New York Football Giants, who I really don't like, but, we'll get into that later. You have Sauce Gardner going to the New York Football Giants. Okay, so the reason why I went offensive tackle is it's a need. The Giants are another team that need prayer. But when you think about it, I really don't want anything good to happen to the Giants. I want everything bad to happen to the Giants and only the Giants. I hope during the draft day all of the power in they facility go off, so that their drafts is forfeited. That's what I hope. But I can see them getting a tackle to protect Danny Dimes. Listen, they've got off the problem in New York. I was happy when they got Jason Garrett because I was like, yes, they took our problem. You know what I mean? And Jason Garrett was a horrible offensive coach. And but I think Danny Dimes isn't a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's really not. I just think he hasn't. And you got Saquon. You need to get some support for Saquon. You need to get some support for Danny Dimes. And I think you could see them do great things, man. So that's why I went with the offensive tackle here. You went with Sauce Gardner. I think that's a good pick there. Tell me about that, man.
Well, much like you picked Kyle Hamilton for the Texans, I feel like the Giants just need playmakers, man. I think Dabo gonna come and he can work with the offense that they're. Danny Dimes, I don't think is a bad quarterback, and I think Brian Dabo, who coached the past few years, offensive coordinator in Buffalo, coached Josh Allen. I think he can bring out some of those traits, not on Josh Allen level, but some of those traits, his mobility. I saw Danny Dimes take like a 70-yard run to the house against the Washington football team last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw him break another one and got tripped by a blade of grass. I mean,
I saw that one too.
He got out.
So he got out. He has that potential. A healthy Saquon Barkley. I like the pick of the O-line. I think they can maybe later they have a few more picks and can get O-line later. Sauce Gardner is 6'3", 190, whole college career, never got a touchdown scored on him. I mean, so he's just like a different level cornerback. He's that
Sauces,
he
I think he may be. I mean, everybody's looking at Derek Stingley. And I'm gonna tell you, you can say what you want. You can say, oh, he played Cincinnati, but he's long, he's rangy, and he sets
6'3",
down on you, man.
195. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree.
he sets down.
So,
I don't see him being a bad prospect. I
it used
actually
to
see him.
be it used to be a Revis Island in New York for the Jets. I think it's about to be a Sauce Island.
Oh yeah, you know, you compare him to Revis. To me, I see him more like Sherman, Richard Sherman.
Well, I'm only comparing him to Revis in the sense that he's a shutdown corner. I
Okay,
mean, I get what you're saying with Sherman, the length and all that stuff, but I'm just saying he's gonna take away the team's the opposition's number one receiver.
okay, all right, all right. So and at the number 6 pick, I had a run on offensive tackles there real quick. Charles Cross going to excuse me, I'm sorry, Icky I forget how to say his last name. They just called him Ikem
Equanu.
Ekwanu. I think that's what that is. Ikem Ekwanu. They have him. I have him going at 6. At your 6 pick here, you have let's see. Well, you have Icky going at 11. Tate, you might have to give me your 6th pick. I think your 6th pick was cut off. Who was your 6th pick, Tate?
Let me see. I forgot now.
I'm missing 6 through 10 for you.
My 6th pick. Oh well, not my fault. I sent it. my 6th pick for the Carolina Panthers was Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. Okay, I can see that. I've seen that in a lot of drafts. And you guys in the chat, man, make sure y'all say something and tell us, you know, if you agree with these picks. These are our picks. And definitely, guess what? Next week, y'all will be able to critique it because the draft is this week coming. You know, so y'all can critique our picks and tell us how we did. I could actually see Kenny Pickett, man. I could see Kenny Pickett doing this thing, man. I definitely could. I could see it.
You want my why?
Yeah, definitely give me your why.
My why is because, again, just like we talked about the Jets a few minutes ago, Sam Darnold ain't the answer to Carolina either. You got
Matt. Like let me ask a question. Do you not like Sam Darnold? Is this a thing here?
Man, he's been around since what, 2019? I mean, they talked about the Browns should have took Baker Mayfield. I mean, took him over Baker Mayfield, but even with all the problems the Browns had with Baker better than Sam Darnold, which is why the talk about him going to Carolina is out there too if they don't take a quarterback here. But I feel like Kenny Pickett, hey, Matt Rule's on the hot seat, man. The coach.
Yeah, from Baylor.
And Sam Darnold ain't gonna get him off the hot seat. So you got to get a quarterback that's plug and play. Kenny Pickett got the highest upside, but he plug and play ready. He was gonna go to Rutgers when Matt Rule was the coach there, but Matt Rule, the year Kenny Pickett was to come, Matt Rule left and went to Baylor. So hence Kenny Pickett went to Pitt. So they have an established relationship already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I think Kenny Pickett can come, get the ball out to DJ Moore, you know, screen pass to Christian McCaffrey. You know, they got a few weapons there. So I like Pickett going to Carolina.
So let's talk about this. Lamar said Hutchinson is definitely not a Bosa. I mean, Lamar, we said that. We said Hutchinson's not a Bosa. I mean, but Hutchinson's pretty good though. I mean, he's not a walk in the park. I think he's gonna be a you're gonna see him have sort of like, remember Kevin Green for you guys?
I remember Kevin Green.
Yeah, who if he's one of them guys that if he gets in a good situation, he can be a Kevin Green type player in the NFL. He just has to get enough people around him to where, you know, if he's not drawing double teams, I don't see him like beating double teams like both. I don't see him being destructive but if he's not drawing double teams, I could see him mashing people. I could see him really doing well. Well, what do you think about that?
No, I agree with you. That's probably a good comp. Kevin Green's probably a good comp, and yeah, he's not Bosa. Neither one of them. You know, Joey or Nick. You know what I mean? Which is who will be compared to. He's a big edge rusher out to Big Ten. You know what I mean? Uh, Father has some NFL pedigree like the Bosa boys. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can see that comp, but he's not as good as Bosa and them. And yeah, he won't be as game wrecking as those guys, but he'll put up numbers. I expect him to be a 8 to 10 sack guy year one. He got Josh Allen over there in Jacksonville, so I suspect that.
He said good comparison with Hutchinson and Watt. Definitely. I hear you, Lamar, man. I hear you. Like I said, he's one of those guys that you're gonna have to get talent with him in order for him to be like super dominant. But once he is, he's gonna be dominant. And shout out to Eddie Copeland as well, man, for rocking with us and all the comments you have here on Facebook, man. Definitely shout out to you as well. But getting back to this, we were on number 6. My 7th pick is where I picked Travon Walker to go to, definitely to end up with the New York Football Giants, where his career is going to end, because that's where people go for their careers to end, is the Giants, because I don't want anything good to happen for the Giants at all. Definitely, who'd you have going at your number 7 pick, Tate?
My number 7 pick, I had who would I have at 7? I had Thibodeau going to the Giants.
Okay, come on. But so here's the deal. We had the Giants taking defensive help at that pick and then edge rusher. So I think we're both pretty much spot on. They need help on the defensive lines as well there to be able. I mean, they need help on defense. Like I said, they could use a player everywhere. TJ Watt is better than any Bosa.
The Bosas are good, but yeah, TJ Watt put up better numbers. So, but I feel like TJ rushing from a stand up out 3-4 linebacker, and the Bosas are 4-3 in. So it's kind of a difference in that. But I would take TJ over those guys. Obviously,
you could say TJ Watt is better, but that Joey Bosa is a monster.
Hey Ma, let me hit you with your own thing, man. What you always say?
Men lie, women lie.
Okay, there you go. Now you read the numbers and you tell me then.
Hey, thanks, man, Lamar. We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate the love, man.
Got to get you on one of these shows to talk about your Cleveland Browns, man. We need some perspective. But
definitely need some perspective about the Browns and what they got coming now. It was an interesting take for me to hear Sports Fluent say that he thinks that the quarterback Deshaun is going to miss 10 games. I don't think he's going to. Like I said, honestly, I think the league, you have nothing founded to give him a 10-game suspension. You don't. Like maybe 2 if he gets any. It maybe 2.
I got 4 to 6.
Yeah, I don't see that much. I don't see that much. He's been punished already, and he's never done anything. You know what I'm saying?
Big Ben had 4. Zeke had time. And we talking, like I said, man, we ain't talking about guys that did anything to get in trouble. We talking about you bringing bad
press for the league.
Press for the league. Yeah, that's what we talking about.
I get it, Tate, but I just don't see. In this day and time and CBA and collective bargaining and stuff, I don't see them doing that, because I could see him easily. If he got more than 2 games, I could see him easily, appealing that and winning. Because I mean, he didn't play a whole year. You know what I mean?
We talked about this before in another show. He didn't play, but he got paid. He was on the sideline. Houston decided not to play him.
That's punishment enough.
It ain't okay. I'm not.
That's punishment enough.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I hope he
didn't
do play. I hope he do play as soon as possible.
Right. He didn't sit out himself. He didn't punish himself. He was punished by the team. So therefore, he was exacted punishment. You know how
Punish,
when you go to
pun, pun,
jail and you get 2 for 1? I don't know if you, but maybe I'm telling on myself. This is 2 for 1. I think he got 2 for 1. You know what I'm saying? I think he got his two for
is,
one
is
already.
that you talking about like your time run consecutively versus concurrently?
Well, what I'm saying is that they get, because you've already been in, they give you that time served. It's called time served. They give you that time, and then you end up getting out early because they double up your days. Basically, they say, "Oh,
Okay.
okay, so you done been in. I'm doubling up your days with getting you
Yeah,
out and letting you
I
out early."
I want hip to that. I've been to jail one time, and our viewer Lamar. Remember we went to jail together for that one day. Your dad had to come get us.
All
But
right,
yeah, man. So
so
I got Kenyon Tippett to go. And I think that's a heck of a haul for the Giants to get in my draft to get Sauce Gardner and Kenyon Thibodeau. Just shores up that defense even more.
well, I had the Giants getting Charles Cross and Trayvon Walker, the edge rusher from Georgia. Now at number 8. I had Garrett Wilson going to Atlanta. Who did you have for number 8?
Hey, Garrett Wilson also.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. I think Garrett Wilson is the crown jewel of receivers in this draft. I've heard people say, "Oh, he's not impressive. All he does is just run routes and catch the ball." That's what a receiver does, right? A receiver runs routes and catches the ball. Well, he's not getting wide open. He's running routes and he's catching the ball. And if you already have Kyle Pitts there, right? You already have well, Ridley is not going to be there this year. He's been suspended, but you got somebody who's going to take some of the attention in Pitts, and then you pick up Garrett Wilson, who I've just seen this kid win. Man, I mean, he's from Austin, Texas. He's a Lake Travis alum, where consequently Baker Mayfield went to school as well. I always forget his name. He played for Texas. He went there as well. Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, Lake Travis puts out dogs. And get this, Garrett Wilson is the best of them. He's the best of the best. And all he's done is went to high school, won 2 state championships, went to college, almost won a national championship, and excelled against some of the best competition that you could face in college football. That's all he's done. So I think this guy will take Atlanta and make the Atlanta Falcons a better team in the passing game. So what you think about your pick there with Garrett Wilson at number 8?
Hey, we won't even take no more time on that, man. I think he takes attention away from Kyle Pitts, the an elite tight end. You got Garrett Wilson on the outside. You got Mariota coming in. Going, the coach is Arthur Smith, used to be the offensive coordinator of Tennessee. He gonna be able to do something with those pieces, man. I mean, Atlanta's not gonna be good again, but
No.
they putting pieces together. So I agree. And Garrett Wilson is the best receiver in the draft. I hear a whole lot of people, especially on my Steelers Network podcast, man. They talk about Jameson Williams. I'm like, Jameson Williams is good and he's really fast, but he didn't get on the field at Ohio State because of Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. So he transferred out.
Yeah. So
and I like Jameson Williamson.
Think about if Chris Olave went to Alabama. Think about it if Garrett Wilson would have
Chris Olave at Alabama is equal to or maybe better than what the kid Devontae Smith did the year before when he won the Heisman.
Absolutely.
He's that kind of receiver.
Absolutely. So to me, when you can't get on the field and you got those other, it's impossible for you to be better than me than 2 people you couldn't get off the field. Now, granted, there are people who get in coach's doghouse, and when they get in coach doghouse, they just don't get good looks. But I mean, I all things possible. If both of those 2 receivers went to Alabama and Jameson Williams was still there, Jameson Williams would have been sitting on the sideline. Again,
I had to come back at me to my rebuttal to what I just told you. Well, Joe Burrow didn't get on the field over Dwayne Haskins, and exactly, Dwayne Haskins was really good at Ohio State. And rest in peace, Dwayne. But he would have been really good eventually in the league too. You know what I mean? But he just wasn't mature
He
and
needed
ready
a. I'm
to
gonna tell
carry
you
that
something.
Washington franchise.
This is what I say, and I've said this, 100 times. You've got to if you go to the right system and you're the right. Look at Larry Brown. Larry Brown got paid, by the Cowboys. Well, no, by
Tampa Bay.
no, it was the Raiders. He got paid. Larry Brown got paid by the Raiders after his Super Bowl with the Cowboys. But Larry Brown was a system cornerback. He fell in a system where he could play the nickel and just wander like a rover. So therefore, it made him look like he was good.
I don't even think he ever looked good. I think Neil Donald made him look good in the Super Bowl, and he cashed in off that. I don't recall Larry Brown a game after that or a game before that.
No, so as a Cowboy fan, in coverage, because he was a nickel corner.
You frozen in time, bro. So we didn't want to hear about Larry Brown anyway. So I was going to jump on to pick number 9. So we didn't want to hear about Larry Brown anyway. We wasting time on Cowboys from 25 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. Pick number 9 for me, Malik Willis. Go. What was your pick number 9?
I like that. My pick number 9 was Derek Stingley Jr.
Elaborate.
I like the Malik Willis pick there. If he don't go to Detroit at 2, I think I think Carolina still could take Pickett, and Malik Willis could go there. And I could see them rebuilding in that manner. But Stingley Jr., Pete Carroll, we know he like big physical corners. Derek Stingley's arguably the best in the draft with Sauce Gardner, so I see them taking Derek Stingley Jr.
Lamar Thomas, Kenny Pickett to the Carolina Panthers. Someone in the Carolina Panthers front office is an ex-employee at Pitt, so I can see it.
No, the owner, David Teffer, owns Carolina Panthers. He from Pittsburgh. He went to Pitt, so that might be the connection we talking about.
Definitely, I'm laughing because it could really happen that way. It just literally could really happen that way. So moving on, pick number 10, I had Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher there. I think filling the need for the Jets. Who'd you have at your number 10 pick there,
Pick 10, I got Kyle Hamilton going to the Jets. And again, we talked about we got defense in New York, man. Talk about the Giants getting Thibodeau and Sauce Gardner. And the Jets got, in my draft, Trayvon Walker and Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, definitely. So in my draft, I had the Jets going Evan Neal, offense and then defense. Definitely you had to get it. So at number 11, I had Washington getting the Commanders, getting Drake London. And in your draft, you had Icky going there to Washington. So what do you think about that pick? You can expand a little because we're going to start picking the pace up.
Yeah, we need to. I just feel like the value you get for Icky, I think he was like the number 5 overall prospect. The Commanders lost Brandon Sheriff off the offensive line. They lost Moses Allman last year, I believe, who went to the Jets, I believe. So they picked up linemen. And I just think you can't pass on that value. At pick 11, you get a number 5 overall prospect, offensive lineman for the next 10 years. You got to go with it.
Yeah, I had Icky off the board there, so that's why I think it went there. If it would have had no other place, I think you'd have landed on Drake too. I have at number 12 Sauce Gardner. You have for your number 12 pick Jermaine Johnson. So we both went defense there. At number 13, you had the and this was an interesting pick for me. You had the Texans going with Chris Olave, and at 13, I had them taking Derek Stingley. Talk to me a little bit about that Olave pick, man. I mean, before we move on, talk to me about that Olave pick.
How the board feel? Your board, you took Ahmad Gardner and Derek Stingley at pick 11 and 12, and I got them both going way before that. So how the board fell, I feel like Olave The Texans need playmaker. If we want to make Davis Mills have a legitimate shot at securing this job, I believe we took Evan Neal early, and now we got to get him a weapon. They got the kid Brandon Cooks. They just pay him like 20 million a year. But
Mm-hmm.
once Olave come and show itself, Brandon Cook gonna get cut in 2023, and they gonna
A
save
big possibility.
a whole big bag of money. So that's my thinking.
A big possibility. I like it. At 14, I had Jordan Davis going. At 14, you had Jordan Davis. We were united on that pick, man. And Jordan Davis helps Baltimore because if it's one thing that if you can do with Baltimore just real quick, if you can get Lamar more chances with the football, Baltimore's dangerous. Baltimore is dangerous. You give Lamar some more chances with the football, definitely.
Well, I mean, but Baltimore usually always has a legit defense. They back end was a bit rough last year. But Jordan Davis just fits Baltimore. Fits Haloti Nada, fits Calais Campbell. I mean, Baltimore just got these big, massive defensive linemen that just take up double teams. You know what I mean? And
Double
free up
team.
everybody else. Free up Ray Lewis.
And
Free
he's
up
a double
the
team
kid they
waiting
got
to
in there now.
happen.
Yeah,
You
double
know,
team waiting to happen.
he's a double
I
team
mean,
waiting to happen.
I hate him coming to our division, tell you the truth, but hey, that's just how I see it going.
Yeah, but real quick, to address Lamar, he said sauce to the Jets. He liked it 100%. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a rumor that I've heard from Cowboy Nation that if we moved up, this would be one of the players that we would move up for. That they were really high on Jordan Davis, and they were thinking about moving up to actually get him to acquire him. I didn't think that was a bad look because, I mean, like I said, the kid's a double team waiting to happen.
What you gotta what you gotta give up to get up there?
We hadn't even talked about it. It was just a proposition out there in Cowboy land. At number 15, I had Devin Lloyd going to the Eagles, and at 15, you had Jameson Williams going. I don't like Jameson Williams going that high because he's going to miss a couple weeks. I don't like him going that high.
It's just a couple of weeks. When you build for the future, you build for the future. They to put him with Devontae Smith, another Alabama wide receiver. I mean, Jameson Williams ran like a 4.42 840. He's 6'2". He's so he's not a big body receiver, but he's long and he's really fast. And I can see Philly using that weapon to go on to then your three receivers is Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams, and is it Brandon Ayuk play for the
it's the other guy.
Yeah,
it's the other guy.
I always mix them up.
Yeah, it's the other guy. He has a brother that plays somewhere too. He's really fast though, really fast. It give him you will find it. Go ahead and look it up. It give him a tandem of speed. But we're gonna move past. At 16, I had Kenny Pickett going. This is where I had Kenny Pickett going to the Saints. At 16, you had Charles Cross going. So we saw the Saints taking offense for both picks. Definitely there at 16. At 17, I had Zion Johnson going, the offensive guard from Boston College. You at your 17 pick, guess who you had going at number 17?
Jalen Rager. That's what he's talking about.
Jalen Rager from TCU.
At 17, we both had Zion Johnson going, right?
Zion Johnson we had going so we united there at 17. At number 18, you had Devin Lloyd going. I already had Devin Lloyd gone and off the board there. I had
where'd you have Devin Lloyd going?
Devin Lloyd, I had Devin Lloyd going
15 to Philly. So he went to Philly both times, right?
Yeah, he went to Philly both times. Yep. So I had Philly going cornerback, the cornerback from Florida, Khalil Alem. I had him going number 18. And, at your 18 position, you had Devin Lloyd. And then you had Daxton Hill going, the safety, at 19 to the Saints. I had Trevor Penning going. I went need again. They have a need. Their offensive line was hot boo boo. It was trash. It was garbage. You know what I'm saying? And they needed somebody to protect the quarterback. I don't care who you have there. You
But
need some protection.
but you see, you see what I did for the Saints at 16 though. I took Charles Cross, so I did get him help on the line.
You did. When you gave him help in the line. She said, "Wash hands, wash hands." Oh my God.
Why we washing our hands, and low?
I'm
I'm not
if
sure.
I'm thinking right, because I
Did,
said
did
it was straight boo boo.
Oh, makes sense. I thought maybe she caught one of us digging our nose or something.
No, no. I thought she said because I said it's straight boo boo. Carlton, I had Carlton Booth from Clemson going to you guys at 20. At 20, you had Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, man.
Tell
I
me
think
about
man,
that pick. You being a Steeler fan, I can't just swipe past that pick. Tell me why you have Desmond Ritter going there. Do you think he actually helps you guys?
he helps in the future. I mean, we needed a quarterback for the future. You need a quarterback for the future. And I mean, we could pass on Desmond Ritter. I mean, that's the third quarterback taken. But honestly, Desmond Ritter is my second quarterback behind Malik Willis. I take Desmond Ritter over Kenny Pickett. Um, like I did the same thing on the BTSC mock draft we just did, and a lot of Steeler fans honestly agree with me. But hey, when it's your guy, you got to go get him, man. 6'3", 215, 43-6 record in college, 4.5 40, mature. Played 4 years at Cincinnati, ready to play. I think he comes and sits a year behind Mitch Trubisky, but I just like the pick moving forward. So you got to kind of plan for the future. I think we gonna put a good team on the field this year, whoever we pick this in this draft. You know what I mean? Now we could pick a player that could play a lot more, get on the field right away this year, and we could be a little bit better. But you got to think about being better long term, especially when we talk about the quarterback position.
Definitely. Understood. Understood. So at 21, you got Andrew Booth Jr. going to the
The
Patriots.
Patriots.
And at 21, I got Trent McDuffie. So we both went cornerback. We both went cornerback for the Patriots. I think that's a good thing there. Here's where I had Jameson Williams going is to the Packers because they're in desperate need of wide receivers, and he's one that would take the top off. And you had the Packers going wide receiver as well there with Traylon Burks.
You got to get Aaron Rodgers some help.
Yeah, when we have at number 23, we got George Kraftis. You took Arizona going with an edge rusher. Tell us about that.
Well, Arizona lost Chandler Jones, so they gonna need somebody to fill it on the edge. I think Karlaftis is kind of underrated, man. Purdue All Big Ten, I believe second team All American, and his measurables are equal to what Nick Bosa did in Ohio State Pro Day. His combine, his 40, his broad jump, his bench press, all his numbers
His
were
shuttle,
his
most
shuttle,
importantly, yeah.
all his numbers were equal to what Nick Bosa did at his pro. So he could turn into something, man. Falling down. We talking about Nick Bosa was a number 2 overall pick. Would have been number 1 if Kyler Murray wasn't the quarterback going number 1. I mean, so we talk about that value in a position of need at Arizona, losing Chandler Jones and getting Karlaftis in there, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. Guess who I had going at number 23? Same person.
Karlaftis. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
same person. And then at the Cowboys, I had Kenyon Green going there at the 23rd pick. You had the Cowboys going Linderbaum. So you had a line, you had offensive line going there. And I think, that's a big thing is that we both were thinking the same thing as far as offensive line was concerned. You had Drake London going to now this is interesting, and I'm gonna show my pick there at 25. I had Daxton Hill going. Why did you choose to go receiver when Buffalo's receiver room is loaded?
They got Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs. Who else they got? I mean, I think you can never give an elite quarterback enough weapons, and you're getting him on the cheap. You getting
I mean,
a 6'4".
they just let Cole Beasley go. They were so loaded in the room. They got a couple more receivers there. I forget their
Now,
names,
well,
but they showed out in the playoffs.
I think Gabriel Davis is going to fill in the Cole Beasley role in the slot. But let me ask you this: that's why, because my reason is you can't give an elite quarterback enough weapons, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
have that big body receiver. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But let me you drafted Daxton Hill, and I like Daxton as safety, but Buffalo got two All-Pro safeties, both of them.
Daxton Hill's a player that you could use in coverage as well. So you can bump him down and have him play a fourth corner, and he's got the speed to be able to do it. He wasn't a slow safety. You know
You
what I
got
mean?
you got Micah Hyde, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they both was All-Pro last year.
Yeah.
Both
And so
Buffalo safeties.
I felt like you can bump. You can never in coverage. That was one of the things that they needed. They desperately needed some coverage help. Desperately needed
Well,
some
I
coverage.
think that's because Tre'Davion White was hurt last year. He'll be back.
That's true.
He's a top 3 corner in the league.
So you had Matt Corral and Trevor Penning going at Matt Corral going to Tennessee and Trevor Penning going to Tom Brady and them down there at the Bucks. My pick was, of course, Nakobe Dean for Tennessee, which I think, is a linebacker who's underrated. And then I had I definitely had the Bucks going defensive tackle. I didn't have them going to help in their offense. I think their offensive line is pretty good.
Well, they
And
lost.
then
They lost one guy to retirement, and they lost one guy to the Bengals. I mean, so for me, the pick at 27, Trevor Penning, the 16th ranked player, the value was just there. They drafted the tackle out of Iowa, was a rookie the Super Bowl year 2 years ago. Now you get another tackle, you got two bookends. Now you got a great offensive line set up for Tom Brady this year, is last year, and whoever the quarterback is moving forward.
Understood. Like it. I like it. At 28, I
Well,
had Chris Olave
you
going.
didn't want me to touch on my Matt Corral pick at all.
Yeah. Go ahead, touch it.
I feel like that's something that there's not in the mainstream.
Touch on that Matt Corral pick.
I think you paying Tannehill $30 million a year. I think you can get off that contract after him sitting one year, Matt Corral sitting 1 year behind him, and you don't lose any of that mobility or use any of the style offense that you're accustomed to in Tennessee. So you go ahead and take that quarterback sitting for a year. Then in 2023, you get off Ryan Tannehill's $30 million a year, and you're paying a quarterback on a rookie scale, and you can fill in holes everywhere else.
You know why I don't like Matt Corral?
I
think he's Colt McCoy. And I mean, I'm a Texas guy, but I mean, honestly, he was too thin. He's too frail for the NFL. You know what I mean?
Matt Corral, like 6'1", 215. He put his shoulder down when he running cats.
But you putting your shoulder down, you saw how he ended up getting hurt and caught it off. You know what I'm saying? This is the NFL.
That was a high ankle sprain. It happened to everybody. He didn't hit somebody and dislocate his shoulder or get a concussion and get knocked out. I agree with you. He got to learn to slide, but he better than Colt McCoy, though.
I don't think he's better. I think they're the same kind of dude. I think it was the same kind of dude, really. You know what I'm saying? I think he may have a little bit of more heart than Colt McCoy. I'm going to get in trouble with my Texas fans. I think he may have a little bit more heart than Colt McCoy because they didn't have to watch him sit on the sideline during the national championship game. Anyway, I had Christian Watson going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see who you had going to the Chiefs there. You had Jahan Dotson. Come on, man. Come on, Tate. Jahan Dotson?
Jahan Dotson, man, he kind of feel that Tyreek Hill role, man. He's
over Christian Watson?
It depends on what you need. They just brought the dude in from Green Bay. Who I'm talking about? Not Lazard, the other receiver.
Let me see.
So they brought him in. He
keep going.
He like 6'3". They brought Juju in, who was a physical receiver. They still got McCole Hardman. I feel like you just get Tyreek Hill another weapon on the cheap that'll be there for the next 5 years. They can control, and you okay. I like Christian
Um,
Watson, but I don't think he necessarily fits.
Van Der Scouting.
Yeah. Mark MVS. Yeah, him. Yeah.
Mm, mm. John, listen, Jahan Dotson ain't 6'4" and run a 4.2.
He not.
That's
But
just my thing. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody who's gonna take the top off
hey,
the
man,
defense.
Trey,
Christian Watson's my guy.
you talking to a dude who got Chase Claypool on his team, man. It just because you got them numbers and measurables don't mean everything.
You right. You right. Look, so we had at number 30, we had the same person going. Lewis Sign. We agreed on that. You had Trent McDuffie going to uh the Bengals. I had Tyler Lindenbaum, of course. Then I had Traylon Burks going at 32. And you had Devontae White going at
So there's
32.
there's that rush guy we talked about when I picked Malik Willis at 2.
Hold on. Where you didn't have him going in the first round at all.
Who?
Traylon Burks.
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't.
Wow.
I think that last receiver I took was Jahan Dotson, and he offered a little more in the quick get off the ball game. I like Traylon Burks. I mean,
Traylon Burks is a baller.
He could easily go in the first round. I mean, he probably would be, one of them picks coming up real soon, early in the second in my mock.
So Tate, let me ask you a question real quick before we leave the draft portion and we switch gears real quick. Who do you see making a trade up or down?
Well, I'm just gonna stick to what I know. I can see the Steelers making a trade up. If it mean, like I said, I saw some things. The Steelers got a trade partner in place with Minnesota, where the Steelers would get pick 12. Minnesota would get pick 20, pick 84, and next year's third. And the Steelers would execute that trade with Minnesota if one of these players is available. Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley, Jordan Davis, Malik Willis. One of those four. The Steelers make that move up. I can see the Steelers trading down, depending on the board fall, where they trade down later in the first just to get another second or third round pick because, they can use any number of positions. And that's what I like about the Steelers. We kind of fill all the holes in free agency, sign all our players. So there's not a definite need. You know what I mean? So we could go any number of ways. We go BPA, best player available. So we could be a receiver, could be a cornerback, could be a safety, but we've signed all our starters are signed right now.
And here's the thing. I was looking for the terms because I'd seen it earlier. I definitely seen where we could trade down. We could end up trading down, and I forget the picks. We could trade down to number 29, still get our guy who is Green. We still get Green. And then that trade would have us trading with Kansas City, and Kansas City would give us a their third round pick, and a seventh round pick. And in the third round, that saw us ended up picking up another receiver. And I forgot the numbers on this, and I thought that was an interesting thing if we traded back, because get this, our guys are the guys in this draft. There's three of them. There's Green, there's Jordan Davis, and there's Chris Olave.
Not Linderbaum.
No, our guys in this draft, that they love from the 30-man. Because remember, in the NFL, there's a 30-man visit. They bring 30 men into and they interview them, and these are our 30 guys. Nobody ever picks off of that 30 men. I mean, there's only been a couple. I mean, some people do, but the trend is on your 30 man, you don't pick away from that, right?
Yeah,
You brought these
if
people in.
if you can have 30 players in the building for a visit and a workout, you're gonna definitely pick from that group of 30.
You're gonna pick from that group of 30. And so the Cowboys fell in love with Chris Olave. They fell in love with him. They fell in love with Jordan Davis and Green. And those are our guys, man.
Well,
Zion,
how come you had Chris Olave in your mock going to Green Bay later and you passed on Chris Olave?
because I feel like they have Green up in the dream scenario, they were going up to get Chris Olave, right? And I think if he falls that low, it's something we don't know. So that's why they would go with offensive guard. I just went with my heart there to say, oh, the Cowboys would still go with the offensive guard if he fell. Now, if he did fall to us like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked him up. I wouldn't even be surprised, to be honest with you, if they picked Traylon Burks. Because like you said, he's an Arkansas guy. Jerry loves Arkansas.
We had Traylon Burks in the BTSC draft. Me and B Dirt did. You didn't like it then?
Yeah, I didn't because I don't believe that. I don't believe that he would go there. What I'm saying is, I don't believe that he would go. I just wouldn't be surprised. I just don't like the pick, especially if you've got an offensive interior lineman there. We need Zion or we need Green, either one. What round do you think the kicker from San Diego State will go? Second, late second.
The kicker?
Like if it's the kicker that I'm thinking about, there's one kicker in this draft that's supposed to be phenomenal. I don't know if it's that guy, that San Diego. I forget where he was from, but there was a kicker that they were like, "Yo, this guy's phenomenal." Oh man, I got to see. It may be him. It may be him. But anyway, there's one kicker.
Matt Arazia.
Let me see something. I'll tell you. Best kicker in the draft. This guy, they were talking about him and they were like, man, this guy's going second round. They're gonna go ahead and spend a second round pick on him because he was super accurate.
Hey, well, and he a punter and a kicker. He killed two birds with one stone. I don't know who hold for him though. Usually it's the punter that hold. Can't hold for yourself. But nah, man, I say at best the fourth round. I don't care who he is. The what's the guy that kicked for the Raiders for all them years? From Florida State. I can see his face.
Janikowski.
Yeah. I think he went in the second round.
Yeah. I mean, when it's a Big G always used to say that it's a weapon. It's a weapon, but a kicker and a kicker is a weapon in today's NFL. Either weapon in today's NFL. It's a weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a weapon. So I can see
disagree.
that. One thing I wanted to get to,
Janikowski went round one.
What?
Round one. Janikowski went round one, pick 17.
He went round one? Wow.
I just looked it up. Yeah, as you know, Al Davis like Jerry Jones, crazy in the mug, man.
Wow, that don't make no sense. I'm gonna spend a first round kick on a kicker?
Hey, but look at the payoff. He cooked for about what, 15, 17 years?
Oh, he kicked for a while.
He was number one kicker in the game for a long time, too.
Yeah, he kicked for a while. So switching gears, last thing, and these are before our parting shots. We got a chance to see the pivot, man. And this week's conversation with Shaq was special. Did you get a new appreciation of Shaq after listening to, and hearing some of the things that he went through? Because honestly, I did. Like, I just want to say, as a man, for you to own your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And for you to not put something off on somebody and then say, I'm one of those guys who I have taken care of my responsibilities to the hilt. You know what I'm saying? I went to jail behind my responsibilities because it's like, it's my responsibility. So to hear another man say, hey, man, I got two mothers of my children and they ain't gonna want for nothing. That's real. You're not a simp for taking care of your responsibilities. I love hearing that. you don't often hear that type of vantage point from, celebrities or athletes. What do you think about that, Tate?
First, shout out to the homies of the Pivot Podcast. Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder. It's a great podcast. This episode with Shaq was excellent, but they got a lot of good shows, man. They put a lot of good content out there. I think you would agree with me. But Shaq, man, it don't surprise me, man. Because I've known how Shaq feels about his mother and his father, his parents. You know what I mean? And his father reminding Colonel Harrison.
Colonel, yeah.
Colonel Harrison. His dad was a military guy. Shaq was raised real structured. And so even when he started to fall in line, his dad, Shaq say, hey, I got whoopings and spankings. We can't do that to kids nowadays. He said, but I'm better for it. And I'm from that generation. I mean, Shaq might be about 6-7 months older than me. I go way back with Shaq, man. Just a quick side story. When Shaq was in the McDonald's All-American game in 1989, me and my good buddy at the time, Sean Smith, was in study hall. Was this girl in our class, good friend too, Valerie Robinson, and we just was messing around. She had an older boyfriend at the time. We told her, yeah, your boyfriend, we seen him out with some girl named Shaquille O'Neal. And she didn't know who Shaquille O'Neal was at the time. He's a high school basketball player. She went back and said something to him and started like, I heard you was with this girl, Shaquille O'Neal. He said, girl, that's a basketball player. So we just was starting trouble. But nah, man, Shaq always does the right thing. I like Shaq. I feel like Shaq would be like in my circle of homies. I got a lot of homies. We all cut from that same kind of cloth. Yeah. we done a lot of bad things, but deep down we good guys and we try and do the right thing the majority of the time. And I feel like Shaq is just one of them dudes. I was touched when he said about, his boys got to go at 18, his girls can stay long as they want. And he ain't turning no keys to the business till all his kids got at least master degrees.
Hey, that's
what
it.
I mean? Yeah. And he apologized to both his previous wives. He didn't say, I don't like to use baby mama, the mother of my kids is what he said. He apologized about Shani. He said he was wrong. She did everything that was right. So he accepts full responsibility for. He take care of his mom, his family. So I like everything about Shaq, man. Shaq's probably one of my favorite all-time athletes.
I for real. Now, do you agree with this? Do you agree with his assessment as the best rapper athlete?
Hey, man. He probably got the most sales. There go the numbers again, huh? But for my ear though, I gotta go Dame Dollar though.
I'm gonna tell you something. Dame Dollar can go. He can rap, but put Shaq in today's time, and definitely Shaq was still, because Shaq did records with Biggie. You Can't Stop the Rain. He did records with Jay-Z, with Redman. I mean.
But we talking about Shaq's raps. I mean, Shaq just had that kind of high profile that them rappers wanted to do stuff with Shaq. You know what I mean? So that's part when we talk about rapping, what your lyrics saying. Shaq nice, but Dame Dollar, I feel like can go with some of the rappers in today's rap game, man.
But my point is that Shaq could go with the rappers in that day's rap game. He could rap with them. You know what I'm saying? And when you got Biggie signing off on your stuff, you know what I'm saying? Big signed off on his rock. Hey, I have to agree. I say Dame Dollar second because I like Dame Dollar. I think Dame can really rap. Dame got flow. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with you, and I like Shaq. I love Shaq, man. Shaq my dude, but I mean, at that point, man, Shaq was bigger than Biggie.
He said Shaq would be the greatest mumble rapper alive. Listen, I don't know if you can say that he was bigger. Well, yeah, he was bigger than Biggie. He was a global icon. Yeah. But at the same time, though, to rap with the Fushnikins, and they were really fast. They were.
But
He
look how
did
he
that.
got with the Fushnikins on Arsenio Hall show. He said, "I want to do something different. I want to rap, but I ain't rapping unless my favorite rappers come on." He put the
Right.
Fushnikins on.
But
Fushnikins didn't put Shaq on.
what I'm saying to you is still he had to rap fast like that.
Yeah, it takes some skill. Shaq got some skills.
It took skill.
Yeah.
It took skill. Take it from a rapper. It takes skill it takes skill. It's not easy. You got to find same syllable words, and then your tongue got to be able to move that fast. And if your tongue ain't able to move that fast, yeah, you're out of here. You're out of here. So I think, and then my statement again: men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And he got a platinum album, a gold album, and a dirt album. He got an album
right,
that's put in the dirt.
But because he's Shaq the basketball player, Shaq the actor, that's why he got not necessarily just, oh, Shaq album is dope. People like, I'm gonna go buy Shaq album, see what it's like. They don't buy it like, oh, I heard it's dope. He got a whole bunch of guys. My favorite song is Outstanding. I like that one with the old Gap Band beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had a lot of good stuff for a lot of years, man.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Him and Dame Dollar actually got into a little rap beef about a year or two ago.
They did. They definitely did. Because Dame Dollar said he's the greatest ever, and Shaq was like, "Wait, whoa, hold on."
Something about I'll spank you and all that. Yeah, I remember
that. Yeah, definitely. So I think they even put out diss songs against each other. I think they actually did.
They did.
Yeah, I think they actually did. So your parting shots, Tate. Give me your parting shot.
Man, I've been telling people, man. I don't know if I told you and Big G, you was talking about cats gonna try and lose on purpose to avoid the Brooklyn Nets. Can you imagine that, man? These jokers, man. And what it is, man, KD, great player, not who we thought he was, though. Giannis the past KD. You got Kyrie Irving, always been a loser, except for when he was with LeBron. And you got two co-pilots that can hoop that can't drive a ship, man. So this is not a surprise to me. I know Big G ain't here now. He talking about Ben Simmons gonna make a difference. We talking about the dude that ain't played since last year in the playoffs that passed up a shot and couldn't hit no free throws. He gonna come in and make a difference? Not gonna happen. So
well, I mean, Blake Griffin made a difference last night, but
it's not enough, man. He made a difference because he come in and he can play big, and when they best players is Patty Mills and Seth Curry, they too little.
Yeah.
I mean, JT and Jaylen Brown, they just take advantage of them boys, man.
Advantage. I mean, for real.
So that's my take. The Brooklyn Nets aren't what we thought they was. They're gonna get broke up next year. Kyrie better sign into his opt-in to take that $37 million, because he might get a little more money, but he ain't gonna get no long money from nobody else. And KD is a shell of what we thought he was. He can get buckets, but when you get physical with him, you rough him up, you touch him up a little bit, it ain't the same.
No, it's not the same at all. It's definitely not the same. If there's anything that I want to say, hold on, I disappeared for a second. if there's anything that I want to say is sincerely, thank you to all of our listeners and everyone who has rocked with us for this last year. Definitely, I'm gonna put up some of our best moments this week, and you'll see before I put up Mod's moments and quick takes. I'm gonna definitely put up some great moments from this year, man. I have had a lot of fun with Tate and G, and discussing football, discussing basketball, and seeing how right on point we are about a lot of things that we talk about. So I just, not making it about me and not making it about Tate, but just saying hey and not making it about G. But thank you from the bottom of our heart. You don't have to spend an hour with us on your Sunday, and I appreciate you for those who do. And Thomas, B Dirt, Tom B Dirt,
Eddie Copeland.
yeah, Copeland. I'm just trying to think of some of the names that I, definitely just want to give shout outs to, because y'all are always here. Miss Lorraine Pitts, Lamar Thomas, um, definitely uh, Iris. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you for being there. And, because like I said, you don't have to spend an hour with us. You don't. You don't have to listen to us and Big G's hot takes. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we appreciate it. And man, thank you for rocking with us again this week on this week's version of the KnoItAlls. I would admonish you guys to go back and look at that last previous episode that we had with Fluent Sports. I mean, definitely a great interview, and it was probably one of our best shows. I enjoyed it. But if you like what you're hearing, make sure you like and subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch. So definitely when we go live, you'll be able to get those notifications and know that we're here. For me and myself, and for Tate and for Big G, we thank you guys again, and we out of here. Peace.